guys, thanks for stopping by my channel today. My name is Tammy. So a couple weeks ago, I made a black soap with neon colors and I just loved it so much, guys. So it's been something I wanted to try for a couple years now and I'm so glad I finally got it done. So today's soap, I am going to be making a white base with neon colors. I am going to do a little bit of piping on the top. I am also using my Busy Bee. It's a bigger batch for me, but I am making 1,000 Dreams, which I call Daydreams, and it's very, very popular, so I am happy to use my very big mold for this. I am going to be making this as a goat milk soap because that is super popular around where I live. So let's get to making a white soap with neon colors with piping. All right, so I have all of my oils melted and cooled in this big pitcher. I have kaolin clay in here. If you see that on the bottom, it's just sitting on the bottom of my pitcher. And I have my lye water over here to the right. Goat milk, trying to get all prepared, and my fragrance oil. So the first things first that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my neons into their respective pitchers. Neons are a little bit harder to disperse in soap. They will have specks. They just don't smooth out as easily as a mica. All right, and I'm going to get a spatula for each pitcher. And my old olive oil bottle. Look at that thing, it's gunky. So these spatulas I get from Micas and More. I absolutely love these spatulas. I don't think I will ever use another spatula. The big ones are great. The little ones are great. You wouldn't think a spatula would be that much of a difference, but it does. So this is TKB neon, orange neon, and I don't know if you can see how chunky that powder is. It's not smooth or real powdery fine. It's quite chunky. So I am going to smush it with some olive oil. I have glitzy green neon. I got that from Micas and More. I'm a fan of Micas and More, as you guys may know that. I have a lot of her colorants and micas and different things. I have neon blue, and this is a nurture one. And then I have neon yellow. This is also a nurture neon. So neons are soap safe, but they are not bath bomb safe. And then I'm going to put TD in the main batch. So give me a little bit. It's going to take a while. I'm going to shut the camera off to save battery. And I am going to smush the crap out of these neons. Those are done. My bags are on the back counter and they have their little piping tips in them. And I'm going to get my goat milk in here and blend the goat milk and the clay all in the oils just so I can make sure I have all of that done. I'm soaping close to room temperature. This bucket is a little overkill for this size of a batch. I think I need a 10 liter. So I just don't have a good 10 liter bucket. And I'm sure I'm not emulsified just yet. It's a pretty big batch. I'm going to go a little bit further. And I'm going to get my fragrance oil in. have this very old lye container, usually filled with water. I forgot to put water in it. And I'm going to fill these up. I don't want to overwhelm the soap with color. I want a lot of white. And I also need to make sure I have enough for my piping. So, yeah, let me see what I can do here. I can make a mess. That's one thing I can do. Some of these are getting a little thick. I'm going to put some TD in here. I just have a little bit in a pot here. This can discolor to a little bit of a light tan or a light cream. Look how thick it's getting, guys. The good thing about it getting thick is I get to pipe sooner. But I am going to stick blend the white a bit just to get that white mixed in really well. Do a little bit of swirling on this thick soap with a glass rod just to not have too big of chunks on top of the swirls that's underneath this. Okay, that's pretty. Let's get the white on. I'm glad I had these ready ahead of time. So I have a rose tip here, like a rose petal tip. Let's do yellow for that. I'm not going to make roses. I don't have a lot of different piping tips. And then I have a closed star tip. I think it's a 2D. We're going to do, let's see, I need orange. I think I'm going to do orange. I have another 2D closed star tip, and I am going to make this bag especially soapy. I had it open, there we go. Blue in that one. And finally, I have an open tip for the green. All right, I'm gonna put my little cake turner on here. And that is just gonna, I think, help everything. I do not care if I cover the soap completely. That is not at all important to me. I'm just going to do random that doesn't look very good. Doesn't look very good at all. Let me try this one. And if I, cover the whole soap, that's fine. If I don't, that's fine. Low stress piping on this one, guys. These neons are neon. I may have put too much neon pigment in the soap. That blue looks really saturated. I'm just going to do this for the green. I think that looks better. Let me try something else with this rose tip. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't like that at all. Actually, I'm just going to take that off. I don't like it. I can put that back in my bag if I feel like I need to. Just kind of cover that up a little bit. You know what? That's a leaf tip. I was thinking it was, I had thought I had grabbed and I wasn't even paying attention. So I'm going to do that. Yellow leaves. All right, well, I did cover it all. I wasn't really meaning to. I'm not mad or happy about it. I was kind of indifferent on that, guys. It's funny because when I do want to cover it all, I never seem to save enough piping, or when I don't want to cover it all, I save way too much piping. A little bit of tap just to settle some of those in. And I think I'm good to put the lid on. Oh, let's put some glitter on there first. Let's see some super sparkle glitter. Love it. All right, on the heating pad she goes, and we'll cut it in a couple days. All right, let's take a look at this soap. It is not white. It is not white, guys, at all. Okay, so I think it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine, and it's gonna be, I mean, that's quite pretty. I don't have a problem with that so much. Other than my white is not white by any stretch. I can tell that I didn't get my TD 100% blended in. I think it was getting thick on me. I think the top is super cute. It's fun. And I don't think people are going to look at this bar and say, oh, that's not white. It's not that. It's just my whole thought was to have this white background with the neon colors, and I did not get there. See, my problem was I did this with a color that does have a very small amount of discoloration. So it has 3.5% vanillin, and it does discolor to a light beige. And I think that I should have paid a little bit more attention to that, and I should have chosen a different fragrance to do the white with the neon. And the little bit of TD I put in here was not enough to compensate for the discoloring fragrance oil. Dang it. So I'm going to try it again. There we go. If you don't succeed the first time, just try again. and learn your lessons. And I will learn my lessons. Ooh, that's fun. That doesn't have any orange in it, and I really like it. That's a fun one. That one doesn't either. Where's my orange? None of these do. That's crazy. But there's some orange. A little bit of muddiness right there, but nothing too crazy, nothing too bad. There we go. I think the top is where it's at on this one, honestly. I think the top is really pretty. All right, so I'm gonna get these on the rack and let them do their thing. I'll trim those up in a couple days. Alrighty, daydreams, guys. This really is such a good scent. I am quite pleased with the soap. I really, really am. I know when I was cutting it, I remember feeling a little bit mad at myself for using a discoloring fragrance oil. Just like, why? Because it is a bit discolored. It is not the pretty white I was going for. So my learning process, you know, is going over the things I did good or the things I did wrong. The things I did good. I'm getting better at my piping. Guys, I'm getting better. You know, baby steps. But I'm getting better. I'm getting there. I maybe kept a little too much piping, but not by much, if any at all. So that made me happy. And then one of the things I did wrong was I put my fragrance oil in way too soon. Even though the fragrance oil doesn't accelerate your soap, neons do. And so I wasn't really thinking that through, and I really should have waited until everything was split up and all of my colors were done and then stirred in the fragrance oil. I think that's my fault on that. So there's two mistakes I made. The other third mistake I think I did is I just oversaturated my soap. I think I put too much neon in my colorants. I'm not that, I don't use neons often, and so I'm not as familiar with them. And I do think you can use less of the neons, which is good because they're more expensive. But I don't think you need to use as much of a neon as you do a regular color because these are, I think they're oversaturated. Other than that, don't get me wrong, I love the bar. And I love the bar. So don't get me wrong at all. But I think I will try it again and try to get a better white base with all the neons. And I'm going to try to fix the errors I made in this one. So I will actually make a video about that. I think that's a good thing. Let's see how well I'm learning my lessons. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. If you hated it, you can give me a thumbs down. That's okay. Comment below. Let me know if you have any other suggestions before I try this again. And then I'll see you next week. Bye.